Hello.
How you doing? I'm a guys.
That's disappointing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going for conservative women because conservative women do not join very often. Go ahead. What's your take?
Okay, well, my take is that first of all, like I'm not on either or side. However, I do have talking points on what you was talking about when it comes to like the border and as far as like them giving like their fair share of the taxes, right? So my question to you is when you're referring to that, you are referring to like
bro, you getting picked up by the aliens? Hold on, what the fuck? Bro, run, fuck, run.
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you should stop playing freeze tag. Go get out of traffic. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I'm in the balcony. But yeah, so like I was saying, you're referring to like legal immigrants, right? Correct? When you're saying that those are the ones that's paying taxes, correct? Because I agree with you to a certain extent, right? Because like, for example, one thing that I don't find fair is how these tech companies don't pay taxes at all, but then you have migrants who pay more taxes than they do. Now, however, I do understand what the guy that was here before was talking about when he says that how much is enough is enough. Like when you have like these illegal immigrants passing the border, right? And I get where you're coming from. Like this,
people are.
I get where you're
undocumented. From. Yeah.
Okay. They're documented in what case? Did they get by and they get processed?
They're undocumented. People undocumented. It's dehumanizing.
Okay. So let's say undocumented. Okay, I apologize. Let's use that as a reference. So comparing to like what the last person was saying, he was saying pretty much that like how much is enough? Like when do we decide to say, okay, like let's say these undocumented immigrants, do you think it's fair that they just cross the border and just because they're here, they're undocumented, but they are getting resources that has to do with taxpayers' money? Do you think that's fair?
They're not getting taxpayer resources money. And I just want to say, what state are you in?
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Just one second. What state?
New York.
New York. Okay. So you're in an exception. But what I hear frequently is people come in here that are like from the South, from Republican states, and then they complain about migrants taking our tax dollars, ignoring that their state is a net loss for the government. Your state, my state, Jaden's state, all of ours pay more into the government. We're paying. My tax dollars are going to subsidize those Republican states. And then they have the audacity to turn around and go, "Oh, wow, I can't believe those people."
Yeah. But again, I say like, that you're turning. What I want you to not do is turn the conversation into a left and a right situation.
It is a left and a right situation. Yeah,
I mean, it really is not for me. The reason why is because like I look at certain people that you're just finished talking about as hypocrites. Because on one end,
I'll ask the same question. Well, I'll ask the question. If it's not a left and right thing, can you tell me a negative? Can you tell me a negative?
A negative? Well, I just finished telling you how like they just crossed the border. They're undocumented. That's the word that we're going to refer to them as. They're undocumented and they are getting resources where it's coming from the state. Okay, you're saying they're not getting resources, bro? You're telling me that you're telling me that Mayor Adams did not just approve, but there's talks that he's
asylum seekers.
Back. Okay, but it doesn't matter.
Those are legal asylum seekers.
Okay, but hold up though. In order for you to have this debate with me, you have to let me get across my point. Correct? If not, I'll wait till you finish. If not, I'll wait till you finish.
You're failing, right? But the problem is the problem is you are failing to differentiate, and you are conflating two groups that are not the same.
But you're not.
Adams in New York. Adams in New York. Okay, well then make sure you can finish it after this, but make sure you keep in mind and are cognizant that the people that are in New York that they need resources for are legal asylum seekers. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's say that let's use that. Okay, here goes the traffic again. I'm sorry. Let's say that. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Or not even the benefit of the doubt. That's a fact, right? So they're legal asylum seekers, right? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair that just because they're legal asylum seekers, right? And everything that we've been living over here in New York, do you think it's fair that it's barely rough for me to pay rent because everything is so high? And I'm not blaming it on inflation. I'm just saying in general in New York, everything is so high. The other day I went to go get a bagel with just ham and cheese and an orange juice. And I wasn't even downtown Manhattan. I was in the Lower East Side and it came out to $25. Do you think it's fair that we got to sit here and see, okay, people that are seeking asylum, and then all of a sudden there's this whole budget that's created for these people, when for us, it's like there's nothing being created for us, not even for like the veterans or even like, let's say the homeless, for say, you know what I mean? Like, why is it, it's a lie?
Yeah, there absolutely is legislation as well as programs that benefit homeless people, especially for housing the homeless. People just don't take advantage of them. People just don't talk about them.
Okay, they don't take advantage of them. They don't talk about them. I got you with that 100%. My main thing is like, why isn't the media talking about them the way they're talking about these programs that are available for the people that are seeking asylum? You know what I mean? Did you know that they shut down a whole school just so they could demonize? Did you know that they shut down a whole school in Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken, so that they could go ahead and let the migrants have shelter, and then had the kids have to work from home? Yeah,
so this is what I'm talking about. When you say it's not a left and right thing, you're literally regurgitating what right-wing talking points. Do you know the backstory around that at all?
Because honestly, can I speak freely and can I curse here? Is it okay to curse?
I'm just asking you, do you know the circumstances surrounding why that happened?
From what I understand, it's pretty much that it was cold and they didn't have a place to survive at. So that's what they resulted to. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, there was high winds. And so they shut the school down for one day so they could use the auditorium so that nobody got hurt. I mean, is that really what we've come to? We can't have kids do a day at school because there's a marginalized group of people. Hold on a second. That is the point. These people are fleeing gang violence.
If it was just that, it would be nothing. But when you turn around and you see, if it was just that, it would probably be okay. But when you turn around and you see New Yorkers having to deal with that on a daily basis, did you know that they beat up a cop the other day?
No, they didn't. That's a lie too. See, you keep regurgitating. I just to point out that the body cam footage got. Hold on, no, stop. The body cam footage got released. It was the cop that was antagonizing. No, you're wrong, and you keep regurgitating shit that's put out on right-wing stuff as though a school being shut down in Brooklyn somehow affects you. It affects you jack shit. Like it doesn't, it affects me and you equally the same. It doesn't affect us at all.
It doesn't affect us at all, but you got to understand that people are looking at that. You understand? Like, let me ask you a question.
Yes, I am looking at that, and I am watching. I am looking at that.
Hold up.
Sure, go ahead. I mean, you just like continually throttle the conversation.
No. And I want you to understand that I don't mess with the right wing media. Like if I was,
you're just regurgitating what they said.
No. I'm just seeing where your head is at. Speaking on your talking points, I want to see how knowledgeable you are.
Awesome.
Because
from
when you
my
think
perspective,
about it, hear me out, though. You know what I mean? I already got your perspective. I was listening to you for quite some time before you let me jump on.
Stop yapping. I'm so fucking done with this. Stop yapping. You're muted. Yes, when people are looking at it, people like me look at people like you saying that these migrants should not be allowed to use an auditorium for one night so that they don't die. Yeah, I don't view that in a good light for you at all. In the same way that if, I don't know, by the way, they do this for other shit too. Like that's the crazy part. They don't just do it for migrants. They do it. I've been to New York a couple of times and my sister used to live there, so I know a little bit about it. They will literally open these areas up like auditoriums, rec centers, yada, yada, the list goes on. And they will open them up and, by the way, cancel school and shit because people can't fucking breathe because it gets too hot and they don't have air conditioning. So yeah, it's ridiculous. It only becomes a problem when it's migrants, right? Because I'm willing to bet he didn't come in here going, oh, I can't believe they shut that school down so that senior citizens have a place to stay cool. I'm 100% you never said that before in your life.
Okay, so here we go. What I'm trying to say is that you're absolutely right. They do that all the time. And I'm not saying that just because that happened, that's morally wrong to say, like, you know what, you don't want to let these people die, open a school on top of the fact that it was going to be closed anyways. That's your point, right? So when somebody turns around and says that that's messed up, you're looking at that person like that person has no moral compass. And I get that 100%. The point that I'm trying to make to you is that these little things that are happening, it tends to have a toll on New Yorkers, and not only on New Yorkers, but on other people that, you know, are going through the same situation. And again, I say this country was built on migrants. So like we are going to need migrants.
I don't understand.
That's
so you're telling me,
okay,
so you're telling me that I have to capitulate
over me until I try to get my point across and then mute me again? That's what you're going to do?
No, I'm going to kick you.
We do not care.
Tony Polisi here. Tony Polisi, can we get some dubs for Lucy? Lucy filled out the kick pool, and I was done with it. I'm going to respond to that in a second. Lucy, appreciate it. Can we get some dubs for Lucy and Megan? Some dubs, drums, and drumsticks. Tony Polisi appreciates the meatball sub. Thank you. You had to go. You had to go. That's the deal. Could get some dubs in the chat. So in other words, what he's saying is we have to capitulate to people that do not have a moral compass because optically they think it looks bad. I think that it looks amazing. I think it looks spectacular that people would do this little thing to allow people to live. Oh my God, a day of, like, we're really sitting here having a discussion, a day of school, a day of at-home learning, human lives. And this is part of the dehumanization shit, right? And part of the reason why this is so concerning is because somewhere along the lines, this guy, as well as other people on the right, have completely lost and dehumanized migrants to the point that they're willing to believe this, that we should just like allow them to die, whatever, it doesn't matter, because they don't view them as human. And this is the fucking problem with fascism. This is literal fascism, the dehumanization of outgroups, right? Watch. This is a fascist rhetoric. Insanely strong, super weak. Migrants are going to destroy our country by coming here, but also can be stopped with a wall. The scapegoating of marginalized groups and migrants specifically as being the root of all of our problems in America because it's an easy one, and the dehumanization of them so you can justify anything you're going to do. And once you start dehumanizing as a group, another group, genocides happen. Genocides happen. The reality is migrants are not destroying our country in any capacity. The only reason America is fucking successful and will remain successful is because of migrants. I would love if like California and Washington funded migrants to just go home for a season and see what the fuck happens. See what the fuck happens to America. Like, this is delusional. See what happens to America if you get rid of migrants. Like, we would collapse as a country. We couldn't do agriculture. Construction work would all but cease. Be very difficult to get done. The demonization of migrants is absolutely crazy. But yes, this is a fascist rhetoric that's been used throughout the centuries. Right? And we're even seeing Donald Trump quote funny mustache man and saying about migrants the same thing that was said about Jewish people. It's fucking concerning.
The fact that he's an immigrant himself makes it even more disgusting.
You got to imagine how much more you're going to be paying for bagels or strawberries or what have you if it's not immigrant labor helping to produce it. $20 for a bagel, what the fuck?
Migrants do not cost taxpayers money.